Hey everybody, it's me again. It's been a little while since I've done my video. I think it's only been a couple days, but really lately I've just been far too tired to do this. Um, I've been spending a lot of time resting. I actually hurt myself quite badly at the gym the other day. I did a step class, and for those of you who have disabilities similar to mine or exactly like mine, we all know that stairs are evil. I have decided not to do that class again. So, I've been kind of laid up for a couple days, been resting my leg. It's actually one thing I do want to pose a question about. For those of you with myotonic dystrophy, do you ever find that it's either one, side of your body or the other? Like for me, I get pain primarily in my right leg. That's obviously, well, not obviously, I shouldn't say, but that is my dominant leg. But I get a lot of pain in my right leg, not so much in my left, but a lot of my right. I'm trying to think of my arms now. My arms, I get a lot of pain in my right arm too, which is nice because, if I got left arm pain, I'm sure I would freak out. That's just the type of person I am. Talking about the type of person I am, I do want you guys who don't know me or who don't know me very well to kind of get to know me. So let's start with my likes. Something that I do enjoy doing. I love documentaries. I am a total documentary junkie. I spent, purely by accident, 3 hours watching documentaries today. Totally by accident. Didn't realize how much time had gone by. But, it could be pretty much a doc about anything. Can be true crime. Doesn't have to be true crime. I kind of do like creepy things. I like things that are creepy and scary. One of the things that I've been so amazingly lucky to have is my son is he's 10 years old. He loves ghost adventures, and for me that's fun. For us, I do check in with him and make sure that he's not freaked out. But a lot of the time he's just like, Mom, this is ridiculous. Like, he thinks it's funny. He's like, ghosts don't really exist, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's your belief. I tend to believe something different just because I've had some personal paranormal experiences in my life, which are freaky. But yeah, so that's one thing that we do together is we watch our little freaky TV shows. Another thing that I love are tattoos. I love tattoos. I have, I think 9 or 10. I've kind of lost count. You can see one here. This is for my dad. He passed away, I think, almost 3 years ago now. So it's been a long time. So it's been 3 years. He had a wolf tattoo, not like this one, but it was different. But he had a wolf tattoo here on his arm as well. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to get that for my dad. And I'm leaving this space blank so that when I finish this one, because I still have about $500 to put into that. It's going to be really nice at the end. But this sod is saved for my mom. She likes lilacs, so I'm just going to get some lilacs on here, and it's going to be super pretty. I've got tattoos on my legs. I've got them on I don't have a lower back tattoo. Don't like those. But I have one, oh, can't see it. Pick up the phone. There's my tattoo. This is Edgar Allan Poe from The Raven. Deep into that darkness peering. Edgar Allan Poe is actually my favorite author of all time. I have several books full of the works of Edgar Allan Poe. They're all pretty much the same, but I still want them anyway. What else? I love Dean Koontz. I do love to read. I'm a big reader, which is, it's a great time filler. It's nice to hang out and soak in a nice hot bubble bath and read my book because that's where it's quiet. But yeah, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell. You'll notice that in my videos I'm quite blunt or very raw, and that is actually me. This is just me being me. I'm not going to put on a show. I'm not going to, I'm having a super bad hair day today. I really just, at this point, don't care. But speaking of my hair, I do want to talk about myotonic dystrophy and how it affects people body image-wise. Usually when I take a photo or I take a video or whatever, I usually do it from here up. Because everything from here down I hate. And now everything as a whole, I used to love. That was me. I was like, yeah, I like the way I look. I'm happy with it. I'm comfortable in my own skin. Now, I'm not comfortable in my own skin. I don't like to go outside. I do like to, like I said, I like to take dogs for walks and all that jazz, but I don't like being out in public a lot. I really, really just don't. A lot of the days I spend kind of rummaging through my dresser, and just saying nothing fits, because the fact is nothing fits. And like I said, I go to the gym a lot. I go to the gym. I try for 5 days a week. Sometimes that's just not plausible or possible. But I do go, and when I go, I don't phone it in. I go hard. But this is one thing I don't show people often at all, because this is my most hated part of me. But I'm going to show people. I'm going to show you guys, because you might have this issue too. I don't know. So that's me. That's my belly. No, I'm not pregnant. I am not pregnant. I cannot tell you how many people have asked me when my baby is due. But what that is the muscles in my abdomen are weak due to the myotonic dystrophy, and that causes my belly to protrude. It's something that I've never actually dealt with before. I know I've always had a little bit of a belly, but this is beyond what I've ever had to deal with before. It's bizarre for me, and I work hard on my abs, and I try and get things to a normal level. I've tried, even after New Year's, I cut out sugar completely from my diet, except for my tea, because if I don't have tea, according to my husband, I am not a fun person to be around. So that's that, like I cut out the sugar, I cut out junk food. Chips are my kryptonite. I love potato chips. And just love. Can eat a whole bag by myself. And that, I realized, that's not healthy for me, so I stopped. I stopped eating chocolate, which I also love. And I don't eat fast food. I don't eat out at all, because honestly, when I do eat out, sometimes I'm just left disappointed. I get all excited for this, oh, I'm going to have this Big Mac, or I'm going to go have this giant poutine, and usually I'm just left disappointed and hungry. So I stopped doing it, because it just seems pointless. And nothing changed. So I, at this point, am just like, I'm working and I'm struggling, and I'm trying to get comfortable with that part of me. And I know, I don't know if you guys are if anybody else out there has had that problem, where your body's changing because of this thing that you cannot control, and it's hard to deal with. It's a hard thing to come to terms with. Sometimes I just wear big frumpy sweaters, or I struggle to try and hide this. I do struggle with, a few things. I look at my legs a lot. I don't know why, but I look at my legs a lot, because I'm so terrified. My dad, when he was really, really sick, towards the end of his life, his legs were super skinny. And that was kind of a big fear of mine, is that my legs are going to get like that. And it's a muscle breakdown. There's nothing we can do about this, right? So I'm struggling, but I'm getting better. I'm doing a lot better, I think, with just being who I am. So I think this is actually going to be a longer video than last time. So yay! One other thing that I did want to touch on is, again, sticking with our myotonic dystrophy theme, I do want to point out that this is not a grown-up thing. This is not just something that, boom, it happens when you turn 20. No. I started becoming symptomatic when I was 30. My dad, I think it was about 35. My niece is 17. She has barely, and I don't know if you're going to watch this, but I hope you do. She has barely started her life. Her life as a teenager is coming to a close. She's going to now be transferring into her adult life. But she hasn't started her life yet. For me, I don't want to have kids anymore. I have my 3 stepkids. I've got my son. And for me, that's going to have to be enough. I wanted to have one more because I love being a mom. And it's probably one of the most fun things I've ever gotten to do in my life. I love being a mom. I love little babies. I love them when they were like little and you could just play with them. Anyway, but she now has to make that choice in her adult life. Do I want to have kids? Do I not? Because we know myotonic dystrophy can be contracted during utero. So that, for me, it's a 50-50 shot. For me, that wasn't good odds. I don't like those odds. So I made that choice that we are not going to have any more children. You know, I can't imagine trying to make that choice just coming into my life, because that was one of the things that I always wanted was kids. From the time I turned 19, I was like, oh my God, I want kids. And I had my son at 23. So, and Haley's come to join us. Oh, she's going to get away though. Anyway, so yeah, so that's something that I think is important to touch base on, is that this is not an adult disease. You don't just magically get this when you're a grown up or whatever. I know a friend of mine whose daughter is 10 years old, I believe, and she was diagnosed at birth. And so I can't even imagine being 10 years old, you know, and having to, you know, not be able to keep up with your friends and having this pain, and you know, it's just, that makes me kind of feel bad for complaining about my situation, is because, you know, there are so many young people. And when you're young, I know, you know, it's hard to fit in school. It's hard enough to fit in school as it is, let alone having to fit in when you're either in a wheelchair or you have leg braces, or, you know, you can't run and play, and it's, you know, I'm sure it's a struggle. Another person that I know, she had her daughter, and her daughter was diagnosed at birth, and she had to fight for her life. And that's, I mean, that's scary. And I think a lot of parents are diagnosed with this after their children are, because we know it's hereditary. We don't know a lot. That's the thing, is that's why I think it's so important for us to come together as a group, as a community, and support each other, because doctors don't know a lot, but a lot of us who have been diagnosed with myotonic dystrophy, I think that we know more than the doctors do, because we're living with this every single day. You know, you know, I say that, I research, and I want to understand my condition, so I do a lot of research. I read a lot of medical papers, and I try and keep up with whatever it is they're saying, because a lot of it's just medical jargon, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, that's one thing that I thought was really important. It's been on my mind for a couple of days now, that, you know, we really need to reach out and say, hey, tiny warriors are warriors too. And we need those tiny warriors, because I think it makes us, it inspires me to fight harder. You know, so that's kind of that. Another thing I did want to talk about, actually, I wanted to talk about it in my first video, but I couldn't really get into it, is I watched a documentary the other day, and documentaries spark opinions in me, and I have so many of them, so many opinions. But I watched a documentary, and this FDA rep had said, you know, it is our job to make sure that only safe drugs make it on the market. And marijuana is not a safe drug. And I had to stop. I think I actually stopped watching at that point, because it had angered me so much. I think I actually called my mom just to complain, because I was just so enraged by this. I was like, this guy is, like, I have to wonder, like, are you listening to what you're saying here? You're saying, okay, yeah, marijuana is not a safe drug. That's what you're saying. That's fine. Whatever. But what angered me about this was, this person is saying marijuana is not a safe drug. All right. But drugs that have made it onto the market are things like oxys, which we know are addictive, highly addictive. We know that usually after an oxy addiction, you know, it can trigger other addictions, because oxys are expensive. And I, you know, like I said, I watch a lot of docs about things like this, and I really was floored by this. I was like, this guy honestly thinks that oxys are safe to have on the market. I am not saying if you take them that you are a bad person or that you are an addict. I'm not saying anything. This, again, is just my opinion. You don't have to share it. That's cool. But that this natural growing plant that has no chemicals in it is not safe for us. Why? Why is it not safe? I don't understand that. I've been using my medical marijuana for about a year now. Excuse me. It is literally the only thing that helps. Literally. And even then, sometimes it does not help. And when it doesn't help, that's kind of the worst thing for me, because I feel like I'm wasting money. I feel like I'm wasting my time. The only thing that sometimes when it doesn't help with the pain is it helps me to sleep through it, which is nice. I know a lot of people out there have trouble sleeping. I know my sister, she has this disease as well. She has a lot of trouble sleeping because of the pain. She just simply can't sleep through it. You know, and sometimes I wake up and this annoys me. Is when I wake up at night and I'm in pain. And I went to sleep that night, not in pain, but I wake up and it's horrible. Sometimes I just, like, literally just want to cry. And to me, it's like, I said to my husband, I said, it's almost like being woken up and having that disease say, hey, I'm still here. And most of the time at that point, I get kind of upset. And then I get a little angry. And then I kind of sit there and say to myself, yeah, so am I. I'm still here too. So, you know, it's, you know, like the disease saying, again, I'm here and I'm going to ruin you. And I'm saying, I'm still here too. And I'm going to ruin you. So, you know, yay for, you know, whatever. A lot of the times I do have to get up and go sit in my living room. And I know one day I had muscle creams. Sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. But I literally had muscle cream on like half my body because I just didn't know what else to do at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, the last thing I want to do is wake up my husband, because he does get up at 6 and he does work all day, and I don't want to wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I mean, I think I really do want to thank everybody who viewed my last video. 41 views is so much higher than I originally expected. I was hoping for 10, maybe 15, but not 41. I was not hoping for, well, I was hoping for higher, but I wanted to be realistic. Maybe people don't want to listen to me gabber on for 20 minutes a day. I like doing this. I'm going to continue doing this. I think it's helpful for me. I think it's helpful for those who view this and maybe are a little confused about what they're going through, or think that maybe, again, they're the only ones going through this. But I got you. I got this. I do want to finish off, though, today, because I'm starting to kind of just ramble, and I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. Please, 100% honesty here. Please do forgive me. I do have a sporadic thought pattern. I may start off on one topic and then kind of veer off to the left and have a new topic that I'm talking about. That's just my thought patterns. I don't know why this happens. But yeah, that's kind of just how I am. It's not something that's going to change. I might be very sporadic some days. I'm going to try and keep it to one topic or 2 topics or whatever, but I will try and stay on track. I promise. I will try. I cannot promise it will happen. So anyway, it's been almost 20 minutes today, so I just do want to again thank everybody who viewed the last video. Please view more videos of mine, and you know what? Hey, if you like the Titanic, this is again my sporadic thought patterns. Check out Tony Stark. Tony Stark does some pretty awesome videos of the Titanic. It is his obsession. He may be related to me. I'm not saying yes or no. I am saying that for being the age that Tony Stark is, he's pretty, got some pretty cool videos of the Titanic. So yeah, so today we're going to end this on a happy note. I am going to say one thing, that if you don't fight every day, that's okay. Sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes it's too hard to fight, or you're too tired to fight, or you just simply can't that day. That's okay. What we need to understand is that just because you accept this does not mean you are giving up. And just because you don't fight today, or because you didn't fight yesterday, again, doesn't mean that you've given up. It just means that you need a rest. You need to break. And that's okay. So for all of you guys out there, and I hope everybody shares this opinion, when you're not strong enough to fight, I am, and I'm there for you. Providing that the days that I'm not strong enough to fight, you're there for me. So let's get this community going. Let's be strong for each other and fight. You know, guys, like, I do love these videos. I'm going to keep doing them because I think it's good for me. I think it's good for you. I think it's good for our disabled community. And I think it's great for raising awareness. Do share it with your friends. Let your friends know that this is out there. Maybe it will help somebody that you don't even, you know, you don't know that they're struggling, and maybe they are, and maybe they just need something. So yeah, so share it with your friends, share it with your mom. Don't share it with your kids. I will state that, I probably should have said that at the beginning. I will put it in my post that this is not really 100% appropriate for children, just because of the drug references that I do make about how passionate I am about the uses of medical marijuana and things like that. So I just don't think that's appropriate for some kids. I mean, use your discretion. They're your kids. What you think is safe for them to watch is up to you. But I will post it that you know, I don't let my kids watch this because of, you know, the references. I just think they're too young to be put into that right now. So yeah, so everybody have a super awesome day. I'm going to continue my relaxing day. I got my coffee t-shirt on, I got my sweatpants on, and I'm going to go have some lunch, chill out for the rest of the day, and then have an awesome Friday evening. Thank you again for watching. I hope you continue to watch. Give me a like, and any comments you want, just give them to me. That's okay. Haters, please don't hate. Bye, guys.